Guys, who likes cars? Okay, kind of what I was expecting. Okay, now who likes the Cars movies? Yep, okay, you can see where this is going, I bet. Now, who likes the movie Car Go? Sorry, I don't think you guys heard me. Who likes the movie Car? Okay, so like obviously no one has heard of this movie because I didn't even hear of this movie until my brother told me that like the kids he works with have watched this movie. It's the first time I heard about it. Probably the first time you've heard about it is right now. So, and then on top of that, on top of not hearing about it at all, this movie is like nowhere. I found this movie for free on YouTube on a channel with 9 million subscribers, yet the actual movie has like 30,000 views somehow. Nobody has seen this movie, bro. Like, truly, it barely exists on like a statewide level. I'm like, come on. Watching this movie for the first time was like genuinely hard, like genuinely a hard task, if I'm being completely honest. It took me like two or three sittings to actually get through this whole thing, because it is really just that bad. So I'll try my very hardest to like make this kind of entertaining, but you guys have to watch this just because of how experimental it is. This movie came out in like 2017, yet has the graphics of like an early 2000s movie. So if I had to like give you an overall take on the whole thing, it's got like parts of the plot of a Fast and Furious movie, the graphics of like What's Up, like that Up ripoff, like the voice acting of a Kingdom Hearts game.
What's that supposed to mean?
And then they added like little musical bits in there. Yeah, these cars sing, by the way. This isn't just a regular movie.
Welcome to Cargo, my hometown.
I honestly wish that last part was a joke. I think that's probably the worst part of this whole thing, is the fact that like without warning, without meaning, they just break into song because I guess they didn't have dialogue for that scene or something. I really couldn't tell you. I'll stop just talking about it. Let's experience this together. The world of Cargo. So to start things off, this movie doesn't have a single like studio name at the start of a movie. You know how like they play little things like, oh, DreamWorks, and like this is who worked on it and blah blah blah. They have none of that. This movie just starts with a musical number.
The residents are pretty swell, and I can tell I know them well.
The children here are well behaved. I wish the streets were better kept.
All these cars talking about how much they love their town and how great the town is and how the children are well behaved.
Children here are well behaved.
That kid just squirted oil into that other car's eye. Is that pee? Is that piss? Did that car just piss all over this adult car? Because in the regular cars world, oil is known as pee. So, huh? And actually later in this movie, oil is also depicted as throw up, like bile. Did they just spray stomach acid in this car's fucking eye? And that mom car is doing nothing to help at all, like not reprimanding their kid at all. One of those moms. Gotcha. Ow! Oh my god, I can't see. I actually can't see. Your kid just sprayed acid into my eye.
Yeah, well, kids will be kids, right?
For these cars to have a whole musical number about their town, they're honestly talking like really bad about it, talking about how the streets aren't paved that well and how there's a bunch of traffic.
Of course, the occasional traffic jam makes you feel a little cramped.
Is there a good thing here that I'm missing? You guys are supposed to be talking about how nice it is and how much you love it here. Move! Just move out of Cargo. You don't have to stay there. Moving on, we get to finally see our three main characters: a cool car, a girl car, and a best friend car. I wonder where they got that trope from. Beats me. So the cool car, the main character car, his name is Danny Carbuncle.
Oh, Danny Carbuncle, super A student, didn't study.
Danny is really highly influenced by his friend Vin, like Vin Diesel, to go illegal street racing all the time for no reason. Really is no stakes when it comes to street racing though. Like they just race for nothing. They race for nothing and then almost get caught by the cops like every single time.
over!
What is the point? They're not like doing it for money. They're not doing it for like a new car. Yeah, dude, they're racing for a new car. But they do mention kind of later in the movie that they will be racing for pink slips, which is like the ownership of your car, which is like, what does that even mean in this context? You're giving them your birth certificate, I guess. Like, I don't, what are they gonna do with your pink slip, bro? Sell you? That's insane, actually. Why are we selling people?
Around and mope. If all you do is study, then you're just a big old dope.
All right, and this dude is singing just straight bullshit. Whatever. Let's move on. So Danny has to get out of class because there was a surprise test. And so he decides, oh, best way to do this, I gotta puke all over the classroom. So him and his jackass friend decide to skip school instead of going to the nurse and do illegal street racing. For, again, no reason at all. Also, illegal street racing is usually done like at nighttime where there's not a bunch of cops on duty. And they're doing this in broad daylight. All right, shit. 12 p.m. illegal street race. That's exactly the time that you needed to do that. So, okay, obviously they get caught by the cops like instantly. And so the only thing that Danny thinks to do is go back home, go to his dad's house, you know? Once Danny's home, he decides to pee all over the floor and then go upstairs because his dad is like,
I'll be in to check under your hood in a minute.
and then he sings about paying bills.
What do you do when your kid's a car? Don't be a jerk, always pay bills.
This plot is really thickening, as I gotta say. Plot is really set into stone. I still have no idea what the fuck the movie's about yet. I really don't. So Mr. Carbuckle is the mechanic of the entire town, I guess, because everybody knows him. He's like this straight edge guy. And so Danny Carbuckle is supposed to also be this straight ass kid. So his dad is like, what's wrong? There's gotta be something up with this guy. What the hell? Also, why do they hold stuff like this? What? I mean, Danny stays home, but his friend contacts him on his mirror phone, you know how we all have, and asks him to go illegal street racing again. This time at night, and this time with a mafia boss's son. So he does that, because of course he does. In the midst of all this happening, at the end of the street race, where of course they get caught by the cops again, his dad finds him afterward and is like, let's just go home, Danny. Straps him to like this tow thing. He's like a tow truck, but not, I guess. And Danny's like, I could just drive myself. I really could just drive myself. But his dad's like, no, you're gonna listen to me. You hear me? And then he gets fucking hit immediately. Oh, Mr. Carbuckle! Mr. Carbuckle, no! So Danny faints after watching his dad get hit by another car, which, yeah, rightfully so. And once he's in the hospital, he asks the nurse immediately, where's my dad? You gotta tell me where my dad is!
I want to see Art Carbuncle. What room is he in?
So he learns that his dad is actually going to be sent to Clunker
Clunker Island in the
Island,
morning.
which is essentially just a dump for cars who can't function anymore. Which is kind of insane, meaning they're just sending people who are like on life support and then just taking them apart. Which I guess is like being an organ donor, but against your will. It's like if an old person was like on hospice or something and they were just like, nah, they gotta go to Clunker Island. They gotta get ripped
limb from limb so we can use their body parts.
Which, okay, honestly, his dad doesn't even look total. Look at this fucking car and look at his dad. They are not even like close to the same level of totaled, bro. His dad is just a little dented up. This dude looks like he's about to fucking keel over in the hospital.
His son.
T-bone a rear end.
Shit. At least something came of this movie. At least something good came of this movie. I have a wife now. Me and Nurse Car for life. I need a fucking new hobby. No, okay, because they're saying his dad is good for nothing right now. Yet this guy is still breathing. He's just sleeping. This guy is literally just asleep. Yet they're saying, nah, he's gotta go. We gotta donate all this guy's organs right now. There's nothing we can do. nothing. Also, what's the difference between a doctor car and a mechanic in this context? Because a mechanic's gonna fix you up. You know what a doctor does to a human? Fix you up. Are they the same job? How different are they? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. But Danny and his little girlfriend are like, well, we gotta find a way to get to Clunker Island, even though his dad is right there. They gotta find a way to get to Clunker Island as soon as possible. So the best way that they think of is they need to be on the brink of death, and then they'll be sent to Clunker Island themselves. Call me crazy, that's the worst plan I've ever heard of, actually. So the best way they think to do that is to go to a demolition derby, because they have that here, and kill each other, I guess. So you have to be an adult to get into the demolition derby in this movie. So they try, they fail. They're like, well, the only way we're gonna look like adults is if we put on some costumes. They get their costumes and they go to the demolition derby. The guy is still like, you guys are definitely just children with costumes on. I just saw you a second ago. Every car looks pretty much the same, except for like the main characters in this movie. So of course he's gonna notice that they're the same cars from like 20 minutes ago.
Guy's got that much of a death wish, you can just come on in.
Danny gets into the demolition derby, and instead of killing himself, he kills all the other cars and spanks a monster truck.
I thought you deserved a good spanking.
And then leaves. What was the point of that whole scene? What was the point of this? Why was this a plot point? I feel like they're just making new problems like every 2 minutes for no reason, just to be like, oh, we're doing something now. Oh, we're doing something now. We're doing something now. We're doing something. But once they leave, they get interrogated by that mafia family from earlier, and so that kid wasn't totaled somehow, even though he looks to be in the exact same condition that his dad was, but maybe they got connections I don't know about, but they don't explain that. But that kid can't race anymore, so for pink slips, they take Danny's and the girlfriend's pink slip in exchange for Danny racing for that kid.
Pull over!
But Danny's pretty happy about this because he's like, oh, well, if I lose and I don't have my pink slip anymore, then I can get sent to Clunker Island. Because the whole thing is like, if you lose your pink slip, you go to Clunker Island. If you get so fucked up, you go to Clunker Island. There's like 2 different things that can happen to be sent there. Why, if you lose your birth certificate, then you get all your organs taken? I don't know. That's not for me to answer, really. So long story short, he wins the race instead of losing like he's supposed to. But Danny and his girlfriend both don't have pink slips because the mafia just ran off after that race because they didn't want to get caught by the cops, obviously, because it was illegal. So they end up actually just getting sent to prison. Yes, they end up going to juvie. And not only that, but they meet their best friend, Vin. And in about, I don't know, 5 minutes, he tells them the escape plan and they just leave straight up. I mentioned this earlier. What is with the constant problem after problem, like, plot? Like, there is no plot. It's just a bunch of stuff happening, and like 80% of it doesn't actually matter to the plot. It's just filler. What is this movie? What is this about? What is the overall plot? I don't get it. Just save his dad? Make it one thing that's like crazy to watch, you know? And like the racing scenes are terrible. They're awful. They're just not good. Nothing about them is enticing or like actually watchable. It's a kid's movie. I get it. But like, why make this movie? This has to have been like somebody's project or something, dude, because there's no way. Fast forward like a minute and they're finally out of the prison and they end up in like some scary forest. Here's something I wanted to mention about this movie too. They reuse assets over and over again. They have like a small plot of land, of forest, and they'll drive through like up to the middle and then just put them back at the start and make it seem like they're going farther. It just looks bad. You could just tell because there's nothing behind them or whatever. It's just empty and it's like, just put more trees. Why is the background just dirt? I don't get it. Whatever. They get out of the forest. They finally make it over to Clunker Island and they're immediately interrogated by a bunch of bums because that's who lives on Clunker Island. It's a bunch of bums. Which, no offense, but why are you living in a dump, man? You don't have to live there. You really don't. Kind of sounds like they're gonna, like, take apart and eat Danny and his girlfriend for whatever reason.
When you put it that way, it doesn't sound so nice.
Guess that's kind of the theme they were going for, is that they're cannibals. Until the daughter of the chief car of this whole island just kind of shows up and is like, wait! They're my age!
These cars are my age.
It's like, oh, yeah, no, well, facts. Yes, this is true. And just takes them to their dad immediately. Like, just knows, oh, yeah, no, I know your dad. No, yeah, of course I know your dad. She also, like, talks funny, but, I mean, that's neither here nor there. I mean, they're cannibals. Of course, they're gonna talk a little bit weird.
I know why your dad is.
You mean where my dad is?
Why? Where? Again with the puns?
I mean, they find his dad stripped of nothing, bro. This guy's just the body of the car. No wheels, no engine, no oil, no... What else does the car have? Cadillac converter. This guy doesn't even have a bumper anymore. I mean, he's stripped of nothing. He has nothing. This guy has nothing. Like, I kind of explained this before. They're kind of just like an organ donor island where they take you apart and use you for parts until you're left with nothing. So this guy is just, like, imagine finding your dad without
Anything. And he's just ripped open and he has nothing in him, but he's like breathing and he's like, please find my heart. I can't do it.
kind of really gruesome, honestly. But this teenage car, this teenage teenage car, this teenage car is basically like, I'm only gonna help you guys if you get me out of this island because I don't want to be here anymore. Totally fair, by the way. Grew up around cannibals, finds these cars all the time that are normal, and they just take them apart until they're left with nothing. Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair trade, in my opinion. They then proceed to play like a 20-second, not kidding, 20-second montage of them finding every single part to his dad's car. Until we get to this fire-ass fucking monster truck versus Danny fight scene. Oh my god.
That was close.
Twisted metal.
Okay, so yeah, Danny's like dead. Danny's definitely dead. All right, just kidding. His girlfriend comes in and kills the monster truck because girl power, and that's awesome, and I love to see that. Killed the monster truck by jumping on top of it, by the way. Don't know how that's supposed to work. And then at last, they fix up his dad, and he's all better, and now they gotta get the hell out of there. And it's only like now, you know, after they like sneakily went and got all of his dad's parts, that the whole island is like, they're leaving! They're leaving! Not every car was sleeping on Clunker Island, and they were just stealing parts, and all those cars were just like, they couldn't be doing something like leaving or something. They couldn't be like fixing their dad up and leaving. That wouldn't make any sense. Why would they do that? They love it here. And yes, that car does come with them. That purple car who can't speak English comes with them. Oh yeah, here's a song she sang about not being able to see the world.
I wanna go where
All right, you get it. And so they finally make it back to cargo, and everyone's happy, and they're singing a song, and it's beautiful and happy and joyous, right? Wrong! What happened to the mafia cars? What happened to Danny's and the girlfriend's pink slips? Why is Vin climbing a ladder? He got out of jail? Why are they not back in jail for illegal street racing? Like, there's so many plot holes in this movie, like at the end, that it's just like, can I just do anything? And as long as I like save a person in the end, then I'm a hero and I don't have to face any consequences. What is the overall message in this kids movie? There is none. It doesn't exist. It's just a bunch of stuff. In the end of the movie, Danny's like, oh, okay, I guess I could be a mechanic because I was able to fix up my dad. And you know what? I am good at that. It is in my oil or whatever. It took watching your dad get hit by a car and then fixing him up yourself to realize that. Really? Also, not to be that guy, Danny, you definitely killed your dad. You definitely are the one who totaled your dad in the first place. Watch this scene back. He pulled him. He pulled him into traffic and made him hit that car. You're an asshole, dude. This is the worst main character of all time. All right, I have nothing else to say about this movie. I really just wanted to look at this movie because nobody else has reviewed this. There's been like one guy a year ago who reviewed this movie, but no one else knows about it. So I was like, I have to review this. This is too funny not to review. I have a form in the description if you guys want to send me video ideas. Also, just leave a comment, please. Okay, bye-bye.